Hey guys, Fire here, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Mighty Mage. This game is currently available in the Xbox Store for a price of $5. It's also available on Windows as a stack, but I thought I'd show off this little roguelike arena survival style game. So the game is actually pretty simplistic, and it's honestly just kind of maybe like a nice couple dollar intro into like roguelike survival arena games that isn't overly difficult, but it's easy to kind of get through. Now, there's 4 different classes you can kind of pick. There's the Fireball, Water Ball, Earth Ball, and Electric Ball, and these kind of 3 skills that your little wizard guy here does are what you use to go through and play the game. Now, stages in this game take place over 20 rounds, and the game has a system where it kind of auto-shoots for you. So all you really need to do is hold down your left trigger, and then you're going to be navigating throughout the map, trying to eliminate all the enemies that you can see counted in the top right of your screen, as well as the wave that you have going on. And then every time you finish a wave, you're going to be given an opportunity to get a new upgrade and then continue to the next wave. Now, if you run out of all your health, which is in that top left of your screen, you will end up dying and you will have to start the entire wave over with. So if anything hits you, it's going to hurt you, and it's ultimately going to cause you to fail and have to completely restart. Now, the game features 4 different kind of magical classes that you can kind of go through, but ultimately it only asks you to play 3 of them: the Fire, Water, and Earth, with the Electric class being one that you're not really required to play but based on the achievements. So I'm gonna assume that they might try to do an update in the future and add either maybe some more levels or achievements related to that Electric 4th class while you're playing. Now, the controls for this game are probably as simplistic and basic as it gets. Since the game does kind of go through and shoot things for you, you only have to hold down your right stick and click A to dash. So when you let go of your stick, you can hit the A button to kind of dash, and that's how you kind of get yourself out of tricky situations. And the most you're going to have to deal with kind of enemy things are these projectiles that get shot at you, and you have to kind of dodge them while you're playing and make sure that you don't get hit enough. As you can see, we took a little bit of damage there, but it's stuff that we can always overcome and get through. And then you can continue at the end of every stage instead of getting like an upgraded enhancement if you've taken damage to heal yourself. But the more damage you take, honestly, it's going to be harder to get through those 20 waves. Like I said, it's not something that's insanely difficult, and honestly, this is a game that, you know, I would consider to be a kid-friendly game because it's not something that has tons of violence. You have like things that you're throwing at enemies, but there isn't really like blood and gore and tons of horrible things that you would find. So I would say this is probably a safe game for parents to introduce to younger kids, and a game that is a good just kind of stepping stone into like roguelike genre style games. If you end up liking kind of these types of games, one of my favorite games, Undermine, which is probably a really good game to dive into, probably not as kid friendly as much, but it's a game that you can kind of step into that kind of roguelike kind of arena style-esque game and kind of give you some good vibes. It's maybe a comparable game, but like I said, it does come in at under $5 and is probably only going to take an average gamer about an hour to really complete out and beat everything in the game. Visually, the game's not too bad looking. It's kind of just like a nice retro style. I like the music that kind of goes with the game, but it does kind of get old over time because it's not a super long track, and it kind of just rinses and repeats itself versus like maybe the levels where they might be able to like change up as you get further. It would be cool if I was maybe going through like a tower or something, and every wave I did was a new era and kind of gave me a sense of like working towards something versus just kind of, okay, we're just rinsing and repeating the same thing. As well as the upgrades are honestly very kind of, once you figure out what to do, you're not going to care too much about movement or, you know, anything except for stuff that really ups your critical damages, and then just getting special abilities which ultimately just make the enemies melt even quicker, even down to where some of the final stages in the game with certain heroes honestly end with no effort whatsoever while you're playing. So as far as an opinion of the game, you know, I think it's a good gateway kind of game for this genre, but I don't know if it's a game that I would go out of my way unless you honestly probably just want some gamer score or have $5 to kind of play. But it's not a bad game by any means. It's just not going to be one that I would recommend going out of my way for. But if you have a young one that you want to introduce like these kind of games to, that's kind of a good safe bet. You know, it's a game there that I would then recommend inherently. But yeah, that's kind of my take on Mighty Mage. I'd love to hear what you think down below in the comments. Do you think you might check this game out? Are you on Xbox, Windows playing it? Maybe you're picking up both. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Mighty Mage. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please consider hitting that thumbs up button, maybe subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check out one of the other 2 videos you see on screen. Until then, I hope you have a great, blessed rest of your day. We'll catch you next time.